Well, good afternoon. This is Houndog Steve wishing you a very pleasant afternoon, and this is Smokey. I never knew how much I like chickens. This is my rooster. He is a Lavender Orpington, and he is so easy to get along with, and we become quite firm friends. There you go, Smokey. Back to your girls. And he gets along with just about everybody. He loves his girls too. His 4 girls, he chases after them. Anyway, so some things have changed around here. My well went down, the pump went down, so I've now been without water for the last 3.5 weeks. The well driller was in yesterday to mark a site, and so yes, we are muddling through without water and getting buckets of water from a local spring, which is about, I don't know, 5 or 6 kilometers down the road. And lucky it's there too, because you have no idea how much water you use when you don't have any water coming out of the tap. Anyway, let's take a little walk around. There's not much to see, but we can have a little walk and talk as we go. And yeah, I'll show you what's going on with the well. Okay, here we go. Okay, yes, so here we go. About 3.5 weeks ago, all of a sudden there was a splutter and the water stopped coming out of the taps, and the pump had failed down the bottom of the well, which is down there. That is 300 feet deep. Anyway, it was quite the situation. The guys came to try and pull the pump out of the well, and the fitting on the top of the hose, I don't know if you can see here, actually, no, there's not enough light down there, but the actual well pipe comes out about 2 or 3 feet below the top of the well there and underground. Well, there is a quick release fitting on there. They were pulling the pump up and the fitting broke off, and wouldn't you know it, the pump fell back down the well. So we have no idea where that is. These are the wires that run the pump. So it was decided that a new well is going to be drilled, and this is the new location over here. The well driller wanted it at least 50 feet away from the other well, and so I think we're just about on there. But that's only part of the problem. Once the well is drilled, and we've no idea how deep the well will have to go. Like I say, that one went down at 300 feet, but then a backhoe will have to come in, and they'll have to dig a trench from that well over to this well to run the wires, and then they're going to have to trench from here down to that deck out there, down there, because that's where the well line goes in from the other well, and hook up to that. Now, as you've probably noticed around here, it's awfully rocky. There is some huge chunks of rock. It's actually unbelievable. So now, as you can see here, this is a great big slab of rock that's heaved because of the frost, but that slab of rock goes right down as far as here, and there's another slab of rock on top of that. But yes, it's going to be fun and games to get this well line in and get the pump back in and up and running, and I'm actually anticipating that I may not have water until I leave here. So that'll be another 2 months without running water. So this is a real test to see if you can put up with camping for 2 months. And I could move to my new location, but I still have a lot of packing to do here, and there is still the batteries and the outdoor furnace to maintain, and so I don't think that is going to be happening. I'm just going to have to put up with it and take the odd shower here and there where I can to other people's properties. And you know, it's actually surprisingly enough, it hasn't been too bad. I just do a stand-up wash down at the sink in the morning, you know, boil up some water and get ready for the day. and nobody has complained about the smell yet, so I guess I can't be stinking too bad. Anyway, I guess I am about maybe halfway done, possibly 2/3 done, transferring from the one container to another. And so things are well underway, but the packing will start in earnest because, like I say, 2 months, April, end of April. I can't believe where the last 4 months have gone to. It's been actually incredible the way time has been passing. But they said that's what happens when you get older. The time speeds up. Anyway, this evening I'm going down for the second meeting for food security. And actually I missed the first one because we had a huge snowstorm that night. And so this is my first one. And I'm going to be videotaping that presentation. I think it will be probably a little bit more organized this time. First meetings are often not that organized, but there was a good turnout. There was at least 45 people showed up to the meeting in a snowstorm, and there was around about 95 people who RSVP'd who were going to attend the meeting, but like me, got stuck, you know, with the weather. So I think there will be a lot of people there this evening trying to form some kind of community, a group of people who've realized that we might be in a little bit of trouble here. And you know, one of the things that has made community difficult in our world, and certainly of late, is the divisions that are being created within our society. And those divisions, they are emphasizing every little difference that we have as people to set us against each other, every opportunity. And it's working. Everything around you, every TV show that you watch is promoting some point of view that separates one group of people from another, whether it's by status, by wealth, whatever it may be. But everything around us is trying to divide us into little groups that squabble with each other over virtually nothing. And that makes it very difficult. Even in the Bible it says a house divided against itself cannot stand. And, you know, I think what we need to realize, you know, when the WEF, the elitists, the globalists, the one world, the new world order people, they tell you things by the way they react to things. And the reaction to the Freedom Truckers rally in Ottawa told you that that's the one thing that they're scared to death of, is us getting together as a group. And that's why the constant division. And that is going to make making community very, very difficult, because we have to set those personal differences aside and not be led into the temptation. Not be led into the temptation. Another thing that the ruling group has done has handed out the victim card. And you know what? That is such an easy card to take. It's a tempting card to take and play the victim, because there's lots of sympathy in victimhood. And but it really, again, if you're a victim, somebody has to have victimized you. And so now you're looking for some kind of villain in the situation because you need someone to blame. And that takes up a lot of time and energy instead of being productive, getting things together, working together. And again, you know, this elite group, you know, regardless of the divisions that there are between people, there is one single division that we all face, and that is above our heads. And it is horizontal, not vertical. And none of us can pass through that ceiling, okay, that division, that we will never get up there. And I'm sure that you are all starting to realize now that everyone below that division is expendable. Okay, there is no one's life is worth a tinker's cuss to anyone above that level. Trust me. And you can see that. You can see by the way we're being treated, the inconsistency, the craziness, the report on the Emergencies Act when it was invoked makes absolutely no sense at all, that the government had reached that level where it was required, to bring in the Emergencies Act. No. The contradictions are unbelievable, and they're unmistakable. That all of these things are meant to confuse, diffuse, and set you on your heels rocking, because none of it makes any sense. And so that is what we have to watch out for. That is our biggest danger, is working against ourselves and our own best interests. These chickens are so entertaining. I would advise anybody to get a few chickens. Apparently 3 chickens per person is enough to provide you with fresh eggs and some meat for ad infinitum. Hatch some of those eggs out, and there you go, you got more chickens. But I'll tell you, once you get to know them, they are great little companions. I look forward to waking up in the morning and opening that door and seeing these 5 little faces staring out at me, waiting for the day to begin. And one of the other things I love about animals, Jasmine as well, they're always in the moment. They're not worrying about tomorrow, they're not worrying about yesterday, they are just completely in the moment. And sometimes that's a good reminder, because when you're interacting with your pup or with your chickens, you have to be in the moment. Anyway, they're going to get a good home. They can come with me. There are chickens at my new location. I was over there cutting some wood yesterday. I'm going back there tomorrow to cut more wood, and basically work out where the trailer is going to go, how we're going to divide the land up into grazing area for the animals. We hope to get a couple of cows, a couple of sheep, a couple of goats on the property, and allow them to free graze. And also how the pasture is going to go in, where the roads and trails are going to go in. There is a lake at the back of the property. Not quite sure how deep it is. I think it's about 6 feet, but we might be able to get some jumbo perch in there. And jumbo perch are an amazing fish. They will survive just about anything. They're completely acclimatized to the Canadian climate, and they will grow and eat almost, and they'll survive anywhere. They're a surviving kind of species. So yes, things are going very well, and I am really excited. It's going to be a busy year, but I'm very excited about what is coming up and the plans that are being made, and this sense of community that is coming together. As you can see, we've just about got all of CB radio set up. This tower will be going with me, as I said, but the fact that we can communicate with each other in an emergency, a power outage, something like that, it's quite a thing to have going. It makes you feel a lot more secure in these times when you hear of, internet blackouts and satellite blackouts. Maybe there'll be a solar flare, something like that. But I would add here, by the way, I've been giving this some thought, and there's been a lot of fear-mongering about the internet going down, the hydro going down. Now, is it a possibility that there could be an attack of some kind? Yes, there is. There's no doubt about it. But in general, I do not think that there will be anything deliberate done to that kind of infrastructure, because it's so necessary for everybody. Okay, there is no digital ID without the internet or hydro. And what are you going to do about nuclear plants? You can't just turn a nuclear plant off. And all of those nuclear plants need electricity to run the pumps, to keep those rods cool and all this kind of stuff. There's thousands of nuclear plants around the world. You're just going to turn those off? So I don't think I think that is, something to create fear. Oh, it's your worst nightmare. Now, there may be rolling blackouts, there may be brownouts, and there may be periods without the internet where it does go down for, you know, maintenance or what have you. We've had these little blackouts here and there, but overall, I don't think there is any appetite to have that kind of infrastructure going down by anybody. And you know, it's for the same reason. You know, people often say, well, why don't you see presidents, you know, being taken out? And because it's possible. You know, there are people who are trained well enough to be able to pull off that kind of a job. But, you see, once it starts, then who's safe? Okay, and that's why it has never really, you know, it happened a couple of times in the US, that's true, but it's a rare circumstance, because like I say, once you start doing that, hey, then everything's up for grabs. Okay, and it's the same with the internet. You know, the Russia and China and India and what have you, Europe, England, South America, they don't have a different internet. You know, it's all part of the same network hooked up together. And so I don't think you're going to find, you know, if you start tampering with that kind of infrastructure. Now, I know Nord Stream went down and they tampered with that infrastructure, but I don't think it would be something that would be the last thing that happened, because it's so integral now to absolutely everything in our world. And without it, you know, we're all going back to a whole little house on the prairie type lifestyle. So it's either here and it's going to be running, or it's not, and we're all going to have to change very, very quickly and figure out a different way of doing things. All things being equal, I don't think you're going to see that stuff really seriously go down. Because, like I say, it's too necessary. The nuclear power plants, if those things went offline and started melting down, I mean, can you imagine? The contamination would be unbelievable, and it would be worldwide. So I don't think that is one of the things that we really have to worry about. And I think more we need to worry about food production, food security, forming community, and to deal with inflation. You know, that's the biggest thing I'm hearing right now from people, is the cost of living is really cutting deep right now. I will be making this video tonight. That will be going up very, very shortly. And I thank you all for joining me on this journey. And I hope that you, along with I, can remain positive and look forward to a bright future. Maybe dark for a while, but I think we can pull ourselves through this and get to the other side. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, please like, comment, subscribe below, and in the meantime, this is Houndog Steve signing off, wishing you a very pleasant afternoon, and we'll talk very, very shortly. See you now. Bye.